Aloha, I'm Mrs. Fisher, and today we're going to be looking at homonyms and word choice. Now there's a lot of different homonyms that you should already be familiar with and know how to choose among them. And here they are right here on this page. So what I'm going to do over the next few slides, a lot of slides, I'm going to give you all these different word choices and you have to select the correct one. You are welcome to use the dictionary to help make your selection. I'm not going to give you the correct answer before you choose. Make the correct selection. Your doctor called and said you're going to need a treadmill stress test. Please make the correct selection. Due to, oops. Do you see the dew on the grass? It was due to the rain. The creek water was high, so we walked on the dock, which made a creaking sound. Again, you can use the dictionary to help you. The capital of North Carolina is Raleigh. I know to use a capital letter when I write North Carolina. Again, you can use the dictionary to help you. The personnel at the bank were very polite. Therefore, I took out a personal loan from them. You can use the dictionary to help you. I was bored, so I wrote on the whiteboard. You can use the dictionary to help you. The effect of coffee is that I wake up. The coffee affected how awake I felt. You can use the dictionary to help you. I bought a plain black suitcase and then took a plane to Maui. You can use the dictionary to help you. I told her that I would not pay a cent for the flowery scented candle that the seller sent me. You can use the dictionary to help you. I want to sell my cell phone. You can use the dictionary to help you. If I were given a chance, I would sing my haka chants. You can use the dictionary to help you. The blue skies brightened my day, but the frigid wind blew and chilled me to the bone. You can use the dictionary to help you. If you were me, where would you wear this hat? You can use the dictionary to help you. As I walked by the store window, I saw a shirt that I wanted to buy. The clerk looked at me, locked the door, and waved bye. You can use the dictionary to help you. Oh my dear, I hit a deer. You can use the dictionary to help you. While surfing, I caught a big wave and waved for a picture. You can use the dictionary to help you. The days keep flying by and my mind feels like a foggy daze. Oh, there should be a comma right there, by the way. You can use the dictionary to help you. Please put away your clean clothes and then close the door. You can use the dictionary to help you. The chicken ran across rough, coarse ground during the obstacle course. I want you to watch this chicken, what he does. Hey. You can use the dictionary to help you. Whether or not you believe it, the weather report calls for snow. You can use the dictionary to help you. For a full week, I have felt too weak to work. can use the dictionary to help you. They're not old enough to go. They're on their own. They need an adult to get into the PG-13 movie. I'm going to say it one more time. They're not old enough to go there on their own. They're not old enough to go there on their own. They need an adult to get into the PG-13 movie. All right, so those were the ones that you should already be familiar with. And now I'm going to go into some ones that you may not be familiar with that are a little more difficult. So I made raps for each one of these. So listen to the raps, and after the rap, you'll be asked some questions to answer.
360, 180, accept, affect, effect, aggravate, irritate. That's a lot of words. He made a 360-degree turnaround in his attitude. What? A circle only has 360 degrees. His attitude did not improve. 180 degrees is turning around in the opposite direction. To show a change, 180 is the right selection. Accept with an A is a verb. Accept means you agree to take something offered. Accept with an E is a grammatical word, indicating the only person or thing that does not apply. Adverse is creating unfavorable or undesirable results, like being the antagonist you claim. I am adverse to that lie. Averse is having a strong feeling against something like a person. Like toward liars, I have an aversion. Affect and effect. This too you can get. Affect is to influence. Think about affection. It has a huge influence over each person. And affection is a verb. It is an action word. Just like affect is used as a verb. Effect with an E is used as a noun. Think about cause and effect and how that sounds. Are there any side effects to the medication? Headaches, weight gain, and constipation. Exaggerate the E for quick memorization. Aggravate and irritate. Students do one and get the other. Nikki aggravates Tony in order to irritate her brother. To make worse is to aggravate. Irritate means to upset. Exasperate.
All right, so since these are a little more difficult, I'm going to keep the little snippet at the end of what all the answers were. And then when you're making your choice, you can refer back to this white panel here. So demonstrate your understanding, choose the correct word. Do you accept the offer? Number 2, everyone except you lost money in Vegas. All right, and I didn't ask you all of those that were on there, but now we're going to look at another rap that has all of these words.
Accede, exceed, allude, include, illusion, anxious, Accede is to comply with, exceed is to surpass. If you accede the posted speed, you won't exceed and speed fast. Allude is to refer to someone or something. Elude is to escape. He eluded detection and witness protection after he alluded to the mom about the bank job. Oh no, you alluded to the police about the mob boss. You better keep eluding the mob and stay lost. Allusion is a reference to event, thing, or person. Illusion is a noun. That means false impression. He made an allusion, reference, to the magician's illusion, false impression. Anxious is negative worry about something. Eager is positive and anticipating. You're anxious about the final exams you take, but eager for a vacation or for spring break. Yeah, I bet you were eager to get police protection, but now you're anxious about eluding the mob's detection. Yeah.
All right. Okay, so demonstrate your understanding. And again, I have the snippet here so you can reference it. Number 1, he made an allusion or allusion to the song Purple Rain. Number 2, I am worried and anxious or worried and eager about the final exam. Number 3, I want to allude or elude my teacher's detection when I skip class.
Aid, besides, bring, take, can, may. A-I-D. A is to give support or assistance, whereas A-I-D-E-A with an E on the end is the assistant. We ask the teachers A-I-D-E-A for help. A-I-D. A. Teacher A, may I please have some aid? I need a friend. Beside is next to or on the side of. Besides means except. If everyone besides you has a ride, you will be walking stride for stride. Don't get upset. Besides you, I am going to walk too, and I will be walking beside you.
Thank you.
Bring is to be brought to the speaker. Take is to take it away. Like the Bring It On cheerleader brought toward the speaker for a game. Conversely, in cheerleading we say, take that ball away. From the cheerleader's opponent, we want the ball taken away. Can and may. I correct students every day. When students ask, can I throw this away? I say, I don't know. Can you? Do you know how to? Here is the proper way. Mrs. Fisher, may I throw it away? Can and may. I correct them every day.
All right.
A.
So, demonstrate your understanding. Choose the correct word. Mrs. Fisher can I use the restroom, or Mrs. Fisher may I use the restroom. Number 2, Mrs. Urata can I have some help? I need some aid. Mrs. Urata may I have some help? I need some aid. All right, so now we have another wrap on emerging, immigrant, eminent, and imminent. That's my son.
Emergent, emergency, emigrate, eminent, imminent.
That's my son.
Emergent is emergent, an action occurring like you can emerge on a scene. That means you just arrived, now you can be seen. Emergency is used as an adjective or noun. It is something important. Call 911 or go to your nearest emergency room downtown. An emergency vehicle is a police car, fire truck, or ambulance. If you see one, get out of the way and to the the emergency vehicle is emerging, okay? I, immigrate, is to enter. Emigrate is to leave. I have one little trick up my sleeve. Immigrate, we are going, in. Emigrate, we are exiting. Emigrate starts with an E, and you find an exit to leave. I immigrate is to enter another country to live, not as a guest. America has immigration laws to limit how many people immigrate into the U.S. Immigrate, we are going, in. Emigrate, we are exiting. Eminent and imminent, they sound the same. Eminent is important or prominent. Imminent is foreboding. Something might happen soon, like the eminent speaker, President Abraham Lincoln, was in imminent danger from John Wilkes Booth.
All right, so again, I have a snippet here for you to look at as you make your choice. So demonstrate your understanding, choose the correct word. The Japanese exchange student immigrated or emigrated into the United States. My friends moved away from, immigrated or emigrated out of the U.S. All right, we have gone, went, in, into, imply, and infer. My son, when he graduated,
Went, in, into, imply, and infer.
look at all the honors he graduated with.
Woo! Gone needs a helping verb. It's the past participle. Jeff has gone fishing with Mandy, his little girl. Went can stand alone as a single verb. Mandy went fishing because she could. Use into for the motion and in for location. We spent time in Florida on vacation. I stepped into the train station. I hurried into the lunchroom on time, but still had to stand in line. Imply and infer, what's the difference? Inference can make a difference. It's not what I read, but what was implied. For instance, I can infer an eclipse when I hear you say it was black as night in the middle of the day. Infer is the action you take when you think. You can infer she likes you when you saw her smile and wink. Expressing something indirectly is implied. Like you can put two fists by your eyes and move them back and forth to imply someone's crying. Inference can make a difference without trying.
Okay, so demonstrate your understanding, choose the correct word. I walked into or in the classroom. I stood into or in the lunch line. All right, and now we have lose, lose, choose, choose, irritating, aggravating.
Lose, loose, choose, chose. If choose is C-H-O-O-S-E, then why isn't lose L-O-O-S-E? It's irritating and aggravates me. A fun way to remember L-O-S-E and L-O-O-S-E is to count the O's. You'll see if you L-O-S-E, lose 10 pounds. Your pants will get L-O-O-S-E, loose. Lose, lost an O. that your pants gained when they became loose. Your weight loss was your pants gain. Put the O's to use. C-H-O-S-E and C-H-O-O-S-E. These are difficult. Would someone please help me? Okay, I have a trick for those too, don't you know? Now look at the word C-H-O-S-E and see the word so. To pronounce C-H-O-S-E, remember it rhymes with so. C-H-O-S-E. See the so? Now say chose. It's easy as can be. I chose the wrong answer on the test. Well, when I chose, I really guessed. So C-H-O-O-S-E. Choose rhymes with shoes. And you can choose your shoes. It's C-H-O-O-S-E. And there are two O's found in there. And when you choose your shoes, they come in pairs. Just like the two O's found in there.
All right. So, demonstrate your understanding. Choose the correct word. Which shirt did you C-H-O-S-E or C-H-O-O-S-E to wear? Number 2, do not L-O-S-E or L-O-O-S-E your money for the field trip. So you're looking for which shirt did you choose, and do not lose your money. All right. Amount, quantity, little, much, and less. Fewer, few, and many.
Amount, quantity, little, much, and less. Fewer, few, and many. Amount, quantity, little, much, and less refer to quantities as a mass. Numbers, fewer, few, and many are all counted individually. Making of beverages is an easy method to get these differences in your head. You would not want a number of milk, a few soda, fewer water, or many tea. Beverages are counted as whole quantities. You could, however, drink an amount of milk or a quantity of tea, a little soda, much water, and less coffee. When it comes to individual things you can count, like gallons of milk, cups of tea, cans of soda, and cups of coffee, numbers fewer, few, and many all count these individually. Amount, quantity, a little, much, and less refer to quantities as a mass. Numbers fewer, few, and many are all counted individually. Amount, quantity, a little, much, and less refer to quantities as a mass. Numbers fewer, few, and many are all counted individually.
All right. So, now demonstrate your understanding. Which one would you choose? How much or how many iReady lessons are due by Friday? Number 2, how much or how many homework do we have? All right. That ends today's lesson, and now we're going to look at a quick recap. We learned how to capitalize, and we know to capitalize proper nouns but not common nouns, brand names but not common names, titles when they come before a person's name like Dr. Fisher, soon to be, and we capitalize direct addresses, the first words in every sentence, days of the week, months of the year, special calendar events, but not seasons like fall, spring, winter, and summer. We also learned that when we are summarizing, paraphrasing, and quoting, we must always put the author's name and page number, that we also need to use signal phrases like in accordance with and according to. We also learned that we put in quotes our quoted evidence, but our paraphrased evidence and our summary, we don't put in quotes because that's in our own words and in our own style. We learned that we must proofread and edit what we write, and it's very important to always use spell check. We know that when we are writing that we're going to start every sentence with a capital letter and use adjectives and adverbs as modifiers to improve our writing. We know that when we're writing a narrative, we are going to use dialogue, tone, and imagery. Dialogue is a conversation between two or more people. Every time the speaker changes, the line changes. You put in quotes what the speaker says, and you separate the tagline with a comma before it or after it. We also know that when we're looking at subject-verb agreement, and we're looking at which pronoun to reference, if we have all, most, any, none, or some, we have to look at the contents of the sentence to tell us if it's singular or plural, whereas if we have each, either, neither, one, everyone, everybody, no one, nobody, anyone, anybody, someone, somebody, it's always singular. And we know there's been a change where they, them, and their can now be singular or plural. We also know that when we have a direct address, we set it apart with a comma and we always capitalize it. That an appositive is a noun that follows another noun and it renames or identifies it. And when we have that appositive, we're either going to put commas around it if we can scoop it out of the sentence because we don't need it, or don't put commas if it's essential and we need it to know who that appositive is referring to. We know that our pronoun references, we have objective and subjective pronouns, and to identify which ones to use, we know that we use the ones that have the M's in them when we're looking at the objects, indirect objects, direct objects, and objects of the preposition. And we know that when we're looking at this predicate nominative or at the subject of the sentence, then we use the I, you, he, she, it, we, they, who, and whoever. We learned about mood and voice, and we know that we should always use active voice for clarity in our sentences. That means the subject's doing the action, not receiving the action. So you would say, the students filled out the papers, not the papers were filled out by the students. We know that we use verb tense consistency. So in a sentence, we'd have past, 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 or present, 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 or future, 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 but we wouldn't mix them up. When you have the verbs has, have, or had, we know that has is present tense. We know that had is past tense, and we know will have is future tense. We talked about parallelism, and we know that not only should we have consistent verb tense, but we also need to have similar adjectives and prepositional phrases inside of our sentences. We know how to punctuate sentences. If you have a subject and a verb and a subject and a verb, you cannot put them together. You have to separate them with a period, a semicolon, use a comma and a coordinating conjunction, or add a subordinating conjunction which acts as the comma in the middle of the sentence. But if it's in the beginning of the sentence, then you have to put a comma to separate that subject verb and subject verb. We know that the word because does have 2 times that you put a comma before because, and that's if there is a negative in the sentence before it, or if it is not essential and we can take it out of the sentence. We know to use semicolons anytime there's commas in those other clauses. And we also learned about verbals, participles, infinitives, and gerunds, and the important part of verbals was that we knew not to have modifiers, that dangling modifiers or split infinitives. We want to read carefully and make sure that it's clear what we're talking about. And that includes, if we're saying planting the seeds, we need to know who planted the seeds. For our split infinitives, for example, I learned to gracefully play my violin, it would be better written, I learned to play my violin gracefully. And that concludes today's lessons. Have a great day.